So you want to try your hand at growing tomatoes in a container, huh? Well, let me tell you, it's not as easy as it may seem. Sure, tomatoes are one of the most popular vegetables to grow, but they can be quite finicky when it comes to container gardening. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you through the process and help you grow the best tomatoes you've ever tasted. First things first, you'll need to choose the right container for your tomato plant. Make sure it's at least 18 inches in diameter and has drainage holes at the bottom. Tomatoes have deep root systems, so you'll want a container that can accommodate their growth. You can use plastic, ceramic, or even wooden containers. Just make sure they're sturdy and can withstand the weight of a fully grown tomato plant. Next, you'll need to choose the right soil for your tomato plant. A good quality potting mix specifically designed for vegetables is your best bet. Avoid using garden soil, as it can become compacted and hinder root growth. Fill your container with the potting mix, leaving a few inches of space at the top for watering. Now it's time to plant your tomato seedlings. If you're starting from seeds, make sure to plant them indoors about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date in your area. Once your seedlings have grown to about 6 inches tall, it's time to transplant them into your container. Dig a hole in the soil, gently remove the seedling from its container and place it in the hole. Cover the roots with soil and water thoroughly. Tomatoes need plenty of sunlight to thrive, so make sure to place your container in a sunny spot that receives at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. If you're growing tomatoes indoors, you can use a grow light to supplement natural sunlight. Watering is crucial when it comes to growing tomatoes in a container. Tomatoes need consistent moisture to produce juicy, flavorful fruits. Water your tomato plant deeply once or twice a week, depending on the weather. Make sure to water at the base of the plant to avoid getting the leaves wet, which can lead to disease. Fertilizing is also important when it comes to growing tomatoes in a container. Use a balanced fertilizer specifically formulated for vegetables and apply it every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season. Avoid over-fertilizing, as this can lead to excessive foliage growth at the expense of fruit production. Pruning is another key aspect of growing tomatoes in a container. As your plant grows, remove any suckers that form in the crotch between the main stem and branches. This will help promote air circulation and prevent disease. You can also prune any yellowing or diseased leaves to keep your plant healthy. Support is essential for growing tomatoes in a container. As your plant grows, it will need something to lean on for support. You can use a tomato cage, stakes, or even a trellis to keep your plant upright and prevent it from toppling over under the weight of the fruit. Pests and diseases can be a challenge when growing tomatoes in a container. Keep an eye out for common tomato pests such as aphids, whiteflies, and hornworms. You can use insecticidal soap or neem oil to control these pests naturally. To prevent diseases such as blight and powdery mildew, make sure to water at the base of the plant and avoid getting the leaves wet. Harvesting your tomatoes is the most rewarding part of growing them in a container. Once your tomatoes have reached their full size and color, gently twist them off the vine. Store them at room temperature to ripen fully, or refrigerate them if you prefer a firmer texture. So there you have it, a beginner's guide to growing tomatoes in a container. It may seem like a lot of work, but trust me, the taste of homegrown tomatoes is well worth the effort. So roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Happy gardening!